Do humans make our own decisions, or is there a power behind the scenes pulling the strings, influencing the decisions that we're making? I go through most of my days making choices and decisions without even really thinking about what I'm deciding to do. And we have the choice to make these decisions each day. Choice and thought makes us who we are. But my question is, are we really the ones that are making the decisions in our lives? Is there an influence behind the scenes that is influencing us to make some of the choices that we decide to make? What if the choices that we are making is something behind the scenes that is trying to achieve its purpose? In this video, we will talk about Satan's kingdom, and we'll also talk a little bit about how his demonic forces or spirits may be influencing us to make some of the choices that we've made in our lives. This video will be based off the scripture of Ephesians 6:12, and this verse goes on to say, "Our battle is not against people with bodies, but beings with spiritual bodies, but against rulerships with various areas and descending orders of authority, against world dominators of this present darkness, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenlies." Now, this is a very structured kingdom with different spirits that have different ranks within inside of Satan's kingdom. But first, we gotta talk about how we got here. Now, in Genesis 6, we have God's creation becoming corrupt and evil. So evil to the point of where God wanted to destroy his own creation. Man had become wicked and had become influenced by the fallen angels of God. These fallen angels came down to corrupt mankind by having sex with the women and creating what we call the Nephilim. Now, the Nephilim were half human, half divine spirit. Since the earth was nothing but corrupt and evil, God needed to figure out a way to restore order back to earth. God starts over, and once again, the nations become corrupt and decide that they do not want to follow the Most High God. And so what God did was he dispersed all the nations and took Israel as his own nation. But you have to read closely in the story, because when he said he dispersed the nations, he dispersed it to the sons of God, or his fellow angels and his divine council. The sons of God are the members of God's divine council, who are lesser gods, who are below the Most High God and help him carry out decisions and help him carry out his will to earth. Now, these lesser gods that God placed to rule the nations, they became corrupt and led all the nations across the world astray. So we have angels coming down, sleeping with women, which produced the Nephilim. God had to flood the earth to destroy it. The disembodied spirits from the Nephilim who died in the flood created demons. Then we have God placing above the nations members of his divine council to help rule the nations, but they became corrupt, led the nations astray, and this is where we are now. So my question is, if we have these nations being led astray, becoming corrupt, doing evil things, causing destruction, chaos across the whole entire world, if these spirits were behind the chaos of things back then, is the same thing happening today? We have in Ezekiel where the king of Tyre is influenced by Satan to become prideful in his heart, to have dishonest trade and cause dishonesty within his rulership. So if you take this at face value, we see that these rulers are no more than puppets being controlled by influences that are behind the scenes to do its will to complete its purposes. So now I have to examine myself and see if I'm allowing these spirits to influence me. Are you allowing these spirits to influence you? Are you allowing these spirits behind the scenes to cause anger, frustration in your life? Are you allowing these spirits to have you do dishonest things, to bring evil into society instead of bringing goodness into society? Just look out into the world. Every day we see something new. We see more division, people getting into it over disagreements about different perspectives and different views they have in life. We're just having arguments over stupid stuff that is meant to divide us. Every single day we have all of these things that are influencing us, and can we really see what it is doing? Can we see the purposes behind this? We have to know our enemy in this battle, and the kingdom of Satan is meant to divide, to kill, to steal purpose, to steal dreams, to steal desire. God's kingdom is meant to bring life, to bring love into the world. Now, if you want to know more about the structure of God's kingdom, check out the video that I have posted, and I'll see you on the next one. To my kings and queens, I'll see you on the next one.